Let's do a quick review of the Roman Shade Fabrication app. The initial screen offers up an introductory message with a link to the eBook. The 4 tabs in the gutter at the bottom remain there all the while the app is in use. Each tab navigates to a distinct function. The eBook is the first of these functions. Tap the Open eBook link and the introductory page will appear. If the Chapters button at the top is tapped, a list of all the chapters will be displayed. Each chapter title serves as a hyperlink to that chapter in the book. These chapters are intended to provide essential background for beginners, while at the same time moving on to topics and procedures that may be new to many professionals. We are especially proud of the Measurements and Rules chapter and the 4 Fabrication chapters. There has been very little substantive content in the how-to essays on Roman shades. Indeed, much of what has been written is fuzzy or inconsistent. Sailrite has been just as guilty as everyone else, but no more. Each chapter, these and all the rest, is clear and complete. The second tab in the gutter displays the Roman shade yardage calculator, but it does much more than calculate yardage. As an example, let's assume a couple of narrow shades, 20 inches wide and 39 inches deep, with a horizontal or striped pattern. The repeat will be 13.56 inches. By the way, as Americans, we are comfortable with imperial measurements, awkward as they are, but metrics can easily be selected with the switch in the upper right-hand corner. Hit Calculate and note that the yardage required is 1.22 yards. 2 shades are possible across the width of the cloth. Each one is centered over the pattern repeat, indicated with the light green lines. The centering margin indicates how far the left edge of the first panel is from the edge of the fabric. The horizontal pattern matching allowance indicates how far the second panel is offset to the right from the first. The dimensions of each panel are listed starting on the left side and moving round the panels clockwise. The light pink borders provide extra fabric to finish the top, the bottom, and the 2 edges of each shade. Optional ribs are displayed at the bottom of each segment. Where appropriate, rings are shown on the ribs. The default pattern orientation of striped fabric like this is down the shade, length oriented, but that can be changed. Make the orientation width and hit Calculate. The shades will now be centered on the pattern again, but from side to side. The ribs and rings will be rendered vertically on the panels. Let's change the orientation back to length and make the width of the shades wider than the fabric, say 65 inches. Each shade will now require more than 1 panel. When Calculate is hit, the app generates a rendition that centers the pattern and adds equal amounts to both sides of the shade. Note the half-inch seam allowances that are shaded with purple. Each shade will here require 3 panels. There will be 1 primary panel in the center and then 2 remainder panels, 1 on each side. In this case, since we asked for 2 shades, the 2 primary panels will be on top and the 4 remainder panels will be below. When the default flat is changed to tucked, and when a percentage of tuck is indicated, in this case we're going to add 50% of segment depth, then the rendition, the resulting rendition, will show the required additional fabric in yellow positioned above appropriate segments. Hobbled shades are represented in the same way with extra fabric in yellow, except in this case the extra fabric is above every segment but the bottom one. There's much more to explore about the calculator, but the obvious point is that it can save a good deal of time and render error very rare. The third and fourth tabs at the bottom of the screen in the gutter are useful if there is internet connectivity. One brings up the Sailrite website. Here, fabric and other supplies can be reviewed and purchased. If a fabric has horizontal or vertical pattern repeats, that will be clearly displayed as part of the description. Many other questions can be quickly answered on this site. Finally, the collection of videos displayed when the fourth tab is hit is nothing short of phenomenal. Every aspect of shade construction is carefully documented. The Roman Shade Fabrication app is available for iPhones and iPads. It is on the Apple Store. To obtain a link, simply search for Roman Shade Fabrication.